back. This is what we've come up with from the prototype that you saw earlier. The prototype that we made, it was just a duplicator, and it was all out of wood, and we just wanted to play with it to see what it would do. It worked okay for duplicating items, and it's good for like Queen Anne legs or pistol grips or flat stock, etc. like that. A lot of cleanup though in the duplicator part, and we're limited on what we can do. We wanted something to actually build its own product, you know, that we can make our own instead of just having to wait till we get something to duplicate. So we decided to add a milling machine to it, and this is what we've done so far. This is the start of it. This is all metal, will be all metal. We've got an aluminum frame that you see right here that it sits upon. We got our, we upgraded our lineal bearings to 1 inch versus the other one had a 3/4. 3/4 had too much play in it, made too much cleanup. So this is our milling machine part, and then the duplicator will be added to it along with other accessories. We got a top to put here so we can do our milling of the and duplicating of the flat stock. So let me go over what we've got on the duplicator / milling machine. Okay, this is the milling machine part. We'll do videos on the rest of it as we go. But let me show you in detail a little bit of what we've got here. We've got over here, this is our front. Now the front is just a temporary thing. We didn't know where we're going to be putting our gears, so we just kind of put something there until we made it, so you'll see holes drilled in it, but it'll all eventually be replaced with a solid stock. But as of right now, this is what we've got right now. You can see our gear setup. This is the reduction to get our pitch that we wanted for our burley twist, which we'll show you a little bit. You can see there a ball screw hooked to it. Okay, this will be the front of, or the inside where our headstock will mount. That actually turns our round stock. We've got a piece in there laying I'm fixing to attach up to start cutting. This is the router that we're using. You can see right here where we've got the 1 inch right here. Now we've got our bearings. We went a bearing in here, and there's a bearing back here. You can also got a stop right here if you just want to mill something this way and actually stop the machine. We've got also 1 inch stock here. We've got stops here and on the back side. We are using a Bosch router, 3.5 horse, 3 inch plunge. Now the last one we had was a 2 inch plunge, and it really couldn't get down low enough, so we needed the 3 inch. And if you do see anything like this, you'll want a 3 inch plunge, and you also want the horsepower. At least a 3 horse or close to 3 horse. 2 horsepower just wasn't enough for taking a lot of stock off. But this is what we've got so far. You can see our tailstock, how we made it. We'll do details on that later. Let me show you some of the wood that we've actually cut so far. You set this down here, and then you can tell me what you think of it. We were working on the pitch and everything for the burley twist. This is an old scrap piece of cherry we had. It was glued up, so we went ahead and cut it. Now you can see the pitch that we made. We're going to go into detail in another video on the gears that we use, but for right now this is just what this machine has already done. You can see the mess. We got to hook up a vacuum system yet, but it came out really nice for the first run. We got a little bit of working out on the diameter of the stock that we're going to be cutting. And this is some of the profiles that we'll be using. We have one profile here. You can use them for the start or the finish of a table leg or a column or whatever. This is another profile we can use right here. The same profile that cut this, also by putting it on the other side, made a nice ball, which if you take and cut this section off right back here, this will make a nice little foot to a table leg. So just some of the things it'll do. We also added, you'll see 1 inch buttons. It'll actually put a 1 inch button into it. Now we didn't really set it up, we just kind of freehanded this one, so you'll see it's all cut up. We didn't measure anything out, we just plunged it, and that's what we've got. But it looked like it's going to add a nice piece or a nice attraction to any table leg you want to do. Then we did just a regular plunge bit, round over. By doing both sides, right here you'll get this wheel or this profile, and if not, you can get these profile here on both sides. So that's just some of the things we've done. Then we tried on a smaller piece. Now the same pitch that's on this one, and the same bit that cut the big one, also cut this small one. So I thought that was pretty neat, but we got a little bit work out on the diameter yet. Now how we put our wood in is also another neat little piece, and we'll break that down for you later. We took a coupling and put another, there's a 3/4 coupling. We put a bolt inside, and then we filed the bolt, or rounded the bolt off to a point, and it sticks out above, and it's for our center. Now to get the support we needed to actually turn, because now you can see we take a lot off at a time, we added some angle brackets. Now we drilled and tapped it into the coupling right here, that way the center don't turn on us, and then we take and screw it into the bottom right here and here, and that made it real stable. If you're wanting, like if we do a 6-inch piece, we can actually add another one here if we wanted to give it more stability. But you know, $4 or $5, and that was an excellent headstock, and it works great. You will like that. So if you're making your own lathe, you might want to consider something like that. It makes it easier to get off and on. You just screw it on, tighten it down, go on with it. It's great. We'll do a video on how we did a lot of this stuff. But the gears, everything works on it pretty good. We'll break down later on our ratios that we did with our gearing to get our pitch, how we did it, you know, with the ball screw. But right now, this is what we've got so far. We'll be progressing the duplicator that you saw on the other one. We've got a better design. It'll actually, this rider will come off, and it will actually mount to this part and still be able to have the movement that you would have on a regular duplicating machine. And we'll be putting our flat stock in, like I said. We'll be making our vices to put in here to actually hold the material. We got circle jigs to put in here. A lot of accessories that you can add to a milling machine style versus just a duplicator. So I'm really excited about all the things and possibilities that this thing will be able to do, and it's already starting to do pretty good. So just tell me what you think about it. We'll keep you in touch, or every time we do a little something to it, we'll do another video to show it. But we will be doing a video on our gearing, what we've used. Right now we're using wood gearing. Later on, when we figure out exactly which ones we want to keep, what ratio, we'll replace them with metal gearing, but we just don't know what we want at the moment. But it's working out pretty good. After I get this leg cut though, we'll show you some pictures of it and try to get us posted on a website where you can go to and stay, keep up to date on what we're doing with it. Hopefully, when we break this down for you, if you want to build one yourself, or maybe take an idea that we've got, I think it's here. But if you got any ideas, just drop us an email or send us a note, and maybe we might be able to use it or something. But we're just wanting to share with what we're doing and what we have done. And all this right here was done basically from another couple other machines that you pick up for a scrap yard. We just took the parts, so we didn't actually order these bearings. They came like that. We just cut the machine down and used them to make what we have. So I didn't have to specifically go and buy, say, a certain rod or a certain bearing or whatever. Everything was in other machines. We just took it apart and combined it together to make this. And that was a little difficult because we had to work around with what we had instead of just going out and designing and building one. But this is what we've come up with so far. Our ball screw is easy to unattach. We've got it with thumb screws right here. So you take that off, you lift it up, you hang it on the wall, then you got your free movement to do whatever you want, or you can put it back down. Well, when we get everything lined out, we'll be actually putting our tape measure down here so you can tell the location. We'll be putting a marker down right through here. That way you can look down and see where you're located at. We will be putting a ball screw on this way to here, and what that's going to be for, so you can also tell your depth of cut there. That way you can control everything you want to do by these measurements. So you'll have one here, you'll have a tape here, and you'll have a tape there when we're finished. And this will help keep control of where you want your locations at on your different parts, and to help you imitate or replicate any parts that you've made. So we've got a lot going on with it, and it's not even close to being finished, but it is to the point of we can use it. So we'll be starting to make table legs now, and as we get going, we'll start adding other things. But the thing I like about this, you know, the width ain't very wide. We can make it bigger, but we still can chuck up another part like we done on the other one, the dual legs, so you can duplicate different legs, or add another router and cut two at the same time. Now, you know, you can do that, or just have one sit right here. That way, when you get set up here, change over, cut this piece, go over, cut this section, come over, however you want to work it. So, you know, if it's something that we're, you know, going to be building a lot of, or a certain style of leg we're going to be making a lot of, we might just go ahead and add another router right here and another lathe part right here to hold the round stock. Like I said, right now we're getting ready to do this piece here. We're going to build a little entry table, and we're going to have burley twist in the center, a few little profiles and stuff, but we'll let you see how that goes later. Hopefully it goes good. But this is just some of the things that we've come up with and the ideals, and I'm trying to base this on a lot of the CNC machines you see out there, and I want the stability and the strength that they have and the power that they have. One reason we upgraded to the 3.5 horse Bosch is for more power to do more cutting quickly instead of having to take a little off at a time. So instead of making one pass or 2 or 3 passes you would on, you know, a 2 horsepower, we can actually do it in about 2 passes now. So I kind of, you know, thought that would be a great time saver, especially when you start rotating this around. Now later on, I may hook this up to a drill and just slowly bring it up, because that is a lot of cranking. I mean, it takes about 40 cranks to bring it up through here to get one cut done, you know, and if you've got 3 spots you got to do, it's quite a bit of cranking. So we'll work on that later, but just subscribe. We'll let you know what's going on, what we're going to be doing. If you got any ideas or suggestions, you know, like I said, this ain't for us, you know, trying to make something that people want to buy. We're just wanting to share with you what we've done and what it can do. And if you want to share your ideas, feel free to send me an email. We'll see if we can incorporate this into this particular item, or an addition to it, you know, an accessory that we can add to it that, you know, make it maybe where it'll cut dovetails or whatever, which we are, you know, thinking about that too. But so if you got any ideas, send it to us. Send us your comments and tell us what you think about it. Appreciate you for viewing it. Stay tuned.